Well, hello, and welcome back to another exciting edition of Coffee with Stephen. So, this week's blog is entitled The Ethics of Rage, and it deals with a number of different topics, one of which obviously something that I bring up quite frequently, the concept of professionalism at arms, but it also invokes the Dalai Lama. And more importantly, it actually references back to an interview that I heard with the Dalai Lama with a Buddhist scholar. And when the scholar had asked the Dalai Lama if it were possible to travel back in time, knowing what Adolf Hitler would end up doing to Western civilization, would it not be ethically necessary to kill Adolf Hitler? I assumed when this question was presented to the Dalai Lama that the Dalai Lama would be antagonistic towards that idea. I was surprised that he actually said that you should, that would be the only ethically responsible thing to do. More importantly, and somewhat oddly, he said that it needed to be done in a somewhat ceremonial fashion, and that it has to be devoid of all anger in its entirety. This, believe it or not, actually did make some sense. The argument that the body politic is made up of multiple component parts, and if there is a cancer or something like that in the body politic, well, then a surgeon would need to remove it to protect the entirety of the organism. On the other hand, if the surgeon were to operate with anger or with rage, number one, it wouldn't make any logical sense, but number two, it could actually do damage to the patient. So the Dalai Lama, at least I think, the Dalai Lama was essentially making the argument that we should be doing this in the same sort of spirit as a physician, I guess. And while I understood what the Dalai Lama was trying to suggest, and this goes directly into our concept of professionalism at arms, those of us who walk around in public while carrying firearms, it struck me as not really understanding the totality of the circumstances. I don't know if I were put into that position whether I could dispatch Adolf Hitler with complete impartiality. The reality is I would probably be motivated by rage, by anger, not necessarily anger at knowing what he is going to ultimately do. Rather, anger at the fact that I have now been put in a position where I have to destroy my own humanity in order to perform this function to essentially save humanity. Anger has an interesting motivating factor. It oftentimes will inspire us to move forward with action. There's a benefit in some respects to anger. Now, uncontrolled anger is just as dangerous as uncontrolled passivity. These are the types of things that we do, in fact, need to reflect on. I do hope you enjoy the blog. As always, train constantly, train consistently, train repetitively, and train with purpose. Above all else, stay safe.